Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Very good morning. Dari pengurusi majlis yang berusaha Semada Dr. Wana Yusof Ngarah NCRC, Profesor Dr. Rabindranath Bayas, Profesor Datuk Syukur. Jangan lupa masuklah senarai. Tapi saya kena masuklah. Siapa lagi ada sini? Ketua Pustakawan tak ada. Tadi ada. Para pegawai daripada NCRC dan seterusnya, hadirin dan hadirat yang saya hormati sekalian. Pertama sekali saya ucap terima kasih atas jemputan kepada saya pada pagi ini untuk hadir ke NCRC. Dah agak lama juga saya tak sampai ke sini. Walaupun saya sentiasa mengikuti secara dekat aktiviti dan juga program yang dijalankan oleh NCRC. NCRC adalah satu institut ataupun satu pusat yang sebenarnya penting di UM, dan bergantung kepada bagaimana NCRC berkembang, maka itu akan menentukan kepentingan dan kedudukan NCRC itu sendiri. Kita telah menetapkan beberapa institut sebagai Apex Institute di UM ini, yang kita akan beri satu lonjakan, support and boost them to become Apex Institute di UM. Antaranya ialah OYA Graduate School of Business, Institut Pemikiran Dr. Mahathir, IMBA, Institute for Management and Business Research, and SEDI. SEDI also will be rebranded very soon. For a start, we ask these four institutes to go first, to accelerate their pace of development to become Center of Excellence for UUM. The rest, including NCRC, will follow suit, will come next. But it depends on the preparation of NCRC, how fast they want the institute to be given an APEX status. With an APEX status, of course, you'll be upgraded to an institute at another level, different playing field, and of course with an additional budget and staffing. But it depends again on the planning and the way forward, the roadmap that the institute is supposed to prepare or supposed to come out with. And based on that roadmap, then university will consider whether you are ready or not, because we cannot force a particular institute or unit to transform if they are not ready to transform. They must first and foremost agree and decide that they are ready to transform. So when they say that they are ready to transform and they have made a commitment, a pledge to transform, then we will assist. We will come with our support to ensure that the institute can really be supported and transform itself to be an APEC institute. But for a start, at the initial stage, we only ask those four institutes: IPDM, IMBA, SEDI, and OYA. The next, I think the other two graduate schools also will come in, and including NCRC. Now, when it comes to NCRC, I think all of you are aware that NCRC is important in the sense that we have an agency called NCIA, Northern Corridor Implementation Agency, and there is already a dedicated area or space decided by the government named as the Northern Corridor Economic Region, NCER, Northern Corridor Economic Region. So there is already a region called Northern Corridor, range or starting from Perlis to the north of Perak. It's a huge region covering 4 states, and this is a region that the government planned and hope it can do a lot of big planning, big agenda to spearhead the development and also to bridge the divide in terms of development and disparity that still exists in Malaysia. Even after 57 years of our independence, we still face and can clearly see disparity, incidents of poverty, a topic that Dato' Syukur is very familiar with. Yeah? Incident of poverty, incident kemiskinan, and also disparity in all sort of areas. Ketidakseimbangan dalam pelbagai aspek, income disparity, educational disparity, gender disparity, age disparity, digital divide, including infrastructure and communication. So I think it is about time for Northern Corridor to plan quickly this vision or this so-called project of having or creating this so-called Northern Corridor or Atlas of Northern Corridor. I think you should have a time frame. You should start with Kedah, and then you can expand to Perlis because it is a much smaller region, and then go to Penang and Perak. If you plan it well, it may only probably take 2 years for this job to be completed. And you can produce, forget about Northern Corridor Agency or whatnot, whether they want to give money or not. It is a non-issue. We should prepare ourselves and get things done. If you need some budget from the university, we shall look into means how best could we help the institute. And also, we can also approach each and every state government when we intend to submit the plan to have this atlas for those particular states. So I think it is about time this planning is being made by Northern Corridor, and of course with this launching of this lab or GIS lab or GIS center, this would surely help in facilitating and accelerating the process of having or preparing this Atlas of Northern Corridor. I think this is something big that NCRC should work on and involve itself in, because this would encompass the entire project, agenda, and also issues that NCRC is concerned about. So I think Atlas of Northern Corridor would covers all sort of things, a lot of areas, a lot of issues, and I think you can come in several packages. The big one is Atlas of Northern Corridor, but within that Atlas you can have Atlas of Kedah Darul Aman, for instance, where you not only have the map of Kedah region by region or Mukim by Mukim, and then through Mukim we go into district and also Kampong, but we also come up with something new, something that people probably do not see or may not know before this, where you identify local tourist spot, local interesting place, local historical spot. We don't have that. In the past, many years ago when I was still a kid, yes, we do study geography, where one of the first things that we have to do is to draw the map you know, and color the map, you know, according to contour, according to, I don't know, Dato' Syukur probably still remember, you know, those are among the things that we supposed to do when we are standard 2, 3 and 4. You know, first you have to learn how to draw a map of Malaysia. It's not that difficult, just like Ubi Keladi, you know? Very easy. Yeah? Then start visualizing the border of each state. You know, Penang is like you skin off a frog, and you can see the skin of a frog. That is Penang. You know, and then Kedah. You know, you can imagine. You know, Kedah, etc. So I think it is very important that this Kedah map or Atlas of Kedah is being prepared. And in that Atlas of Kedah, you not only include all the important maps, but you can also include this issue of disparity, tourist spots, and also so many other things. I think Rabi know what to include, because this would be a very good piece of work, because you can commercialize it, you can sell it, you know, and we put a trademark, we put a brand on it. This is something produced by NCRC and published by UUM. This is a big contribution, because nobody is doing it. Nobody is doing it. And we should include something new, something different, places of interest in Kedah, you know, so we go and shoot photo, nice photo, Kota Kuala Kedah, you know, air terjun here and there, you know, air terjun Sinto, you know, in this area you have this fountain, or hot fountain, in this area you have this waterfall, you know, you have very old well, you have this Japanese bunker, you know, so many things actually we have in Kedah that never been properly mapped out to the people. So this is our work, you know, being academician, being a university, it is our work to do research. Research means we search things that's already there. We don't go and search something that do not exist. You know, research. The things is already there. We just go and research. Yeah, mencari semula. Okay, research. So we investigate and we research things that already exist. We don't ask you to do something that never exists. You know, so it is something practical, something empirical. Jadi kita kena pergi cari. Termasuklah kalau kita dapat tengok income disparity dalam masyarakat yang masih wujud, ya, dan juga gender disparity, age disparity, you know, and you know that there are quite a number of project and planning that is still in the pipeline as far as the state government is concerned. They have so many plans, but if we can show to them or prepare something like Atlas of Kedah, then probably they can see in much more clearer form about the situation and also the images of Kedah based on the mapping done by the GIS. So that would clearly demonstrate to the state government where and what they should do, where certain things should be done and what that they should do to those places in order to address all the issues and problems that may exist in those places. Jadi dengan sebab itu saya fikir GIS ni mempunyai big role to play, and I would be very happy if we can start to do the mapping for UUM. You know, all the 1,061 hectares land that we have is yet to be properly mapped out, including the fountain, the waterfall, you know, the contour of UUM, not yet produced. We only see the raw map issued by Jabatan Pemetaan, yeah? But we do not have yet a proper map of our own that shows UUM and also the surrounding area, including the neighboring area, Bukit Tangga, Cangkat Stoi, you know, and Kampung Darat, and also Changlon, and up to, you know, border of UNIMED. We stop there, don't go there. Yeah? And and later we go there, you know, because we don't have to do something for them, you know. So just do for ourselves, and probably we should start this one first. I think start this one first, and because you cannot do something for others if you don't do things for yourself first. So better do things for UUM first. Once we have prepared that, so at least we know, at least within the radius of 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers, or within the vicinity of UUM, whether there exists incident of poverty or not, whether there exists some disparity or not, and also digital divide. There are areas also still not covered by this mobile technology and communication modern technology. Some still do not have radio coverage, proper radio coverage, or even TV coverage. I think do not underestimate or do not overestimate that everything is okay and perfect around us. In our area probably it's good because we have a properly dedicated area looked after by the government with proper budget and proper staffing and whatnot. But those outside our areas, they are not quite like us. So it is important that we survey and do study in our neighboring areas first. Kawasan-kawasan sekitar kita dulu. This is very important. So that we know that there are incidents of poverty actually very nearby to our campus, and people still live in a very poor condition and probably in hard, or without proper place called home. We don't know, it may exist. And then we can also come up with some project that we we can carry out so that we can address and assist those people, those displaced people, or people that is now being bogged down with this kind of problems. Jadi saya betul-betul mengharapkan perasmian Makmal ini akan dapat membuka satu era baru. It can open up a new era for NCRC so that you have the facilities and the so-called upper hand, and autonomy or authority, with regard to conducting work and research related to things that is covered or can be covered by GIS. Jadi saya harap ini dapat diambil perhatian, dan what you need now is a proper planning. And I do hope that Dr. Syukur and Prof. Ravi can stay longer with us so that you can, plan and help us, to continue with this work, because we need some experienced people, people with some proper knowledge in this aspect, so that the youngsters and those young people can learn, from these seniors' experiences, so that we can impart this knowledge and spread this knowledge to other people, so that we can have a handful of experts that can assist us in conducting more work and more research. I think once people start knowing and realizing that you have this capacity, the expertise, and already prove yourself that you have come up with a very outstanding outcome of your work, of your research work, then people come to you, because there are not many in this country, or even in this one more in this region, that have this capacity of conducting research and also publication. But when you do research, you must publish. Because when you don't publish, nobody knows, nobody is aware of what work that you have done. So we need to publish and publicize it, promote it. We need some media support, media coverage for that. This one the university can help. I know how to spin off certain things, so that you can make an impact for the institute, and also for the center, and also for UUM. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, saya sangat-sangat mengharapkan kewujudan Makmal GIS ini akan dapat membantu NCRC untuk menggerakkan lebih banyak lagi aktiviti-aktiviti pendidikan dan perancangan, dan make people aware of your existence and what kind of service and help that the lab can offer, and also the expertise and the services that NCRC can offer. With regard to your own space, I think should not be too worried about it, because we're going to move all the institute and center into Pusat Convention, our convention center, where one school with 2 departments consisting of more than 100 people, I think, or roughly 100 people, they already start to move out to their new building, Fakulti Antarabangsa, Pusat Pengajaran Antarabangsa. They already move out to the new building next to EDC, outside the campus. So there's a lot of space there. But the space has already been decided to be occupied by a number of institute that currently exists, everywhere in the campus. They are everywhere. One here, one there. Very dispersed. So we hope to bring all the institute and center that deals with research into one place, so that you can have a proper place where you can go and see all the research center and institute working together for the University Agenda in one dedicated area or space, namely the convention center. I think slowly, when we have the budget, or when we receive the budget to build School of Tourism, so another area in this part of the building would be vacated, because these people also will move there. The planning is that Antarabangsa, International Studies and Tourism will stay together. They're supposed to share common facilities there, but the faculty also will move there. But the budget now only being approved for just one faculty. So we hope that in the next budget we can get this. Even that also we have to wait for more than 5 years actually to get the budget and to get things done. The planning was made when I was the dean there. It only become a reality. It only materialized when I'm almost 5 years becoming vice chancellor. So can you imagine? That started in 2005, I think. It's almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. Yeah, so that is planning. So I don't know whether I can still be around as the vice chancellor when the tourism building, can be raised next to it. But it's not a problem, because people come and go. The university must continue. Yeah, that is something that is normal. That we always see happening around us. So saya betul-betul mengharapkan supaya NCRC dapat menggerakkan perancangan-perancangan yang diperlukan dari semua agenda yang diperlukan, yang saya kira bukan saja yang berkaitan dengan GIS, tapi juga berkaitan dengan aspek-aspek yang lain. I think people are already aware about the existence of NCRC, and I think we need to just do a bit more work to brand the institute. I think with the presence of Dato' Syukur and Prof. Ravi here, I think more can be done. Dato' Syukur, I personally told him to assist NCRC and also Islamic Business School, and he can also come up with a number of idea and project with regard to developing the Northern Corridor, economic region, in particular with regard to addressing incident of poverty, etc. Jadi itulah yang dapat saya sampaikan. Saya memilih untuk cakap sedikit dalam bahasa Inggeris because to ensure that Prof. Ravi can understand what I'm trying to tell him to do. So if I speak in Malay, he may not understand, and he say, I don't understand, so it's not my work. So now I speak in English, then you know that you have an assignment to do, so that you cannot run away. So itulah dia, and the rest saya fikir boleh faham lah apa yang saya cakap. Jadi itulah saja yang saya nak sampaikan, dan saya ucap tahniah atas usaha ini akhirnya menjadi kenyataan, walaupun mengambil masa. It take quite some time to come out with this GIS, because we planned it for quite some time already, actually 3 years, I think 2-3 years, I think, or even more, and finally we have it here. Jadi gunakanlah dengan tujuan untuk kebaikan, dan I think get ready also to move out to a new place. I think sometime this year, because once they start to vacate the place, some renovation work will be done. But I think you have to communicate with Prof. Razak and GPP whether or when things are ready for you to move out. But preparation must be made so that you don't interrupt, or your plan and your work will not be interrupted because of this moving to a new place. Yeah. Jadi itulah yang saya dapat sampaikan, dan dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim saya merasmikan Makmal GIS NCRC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.